Hello and welcome back to Heroes and Hooligans, everyone. It is Thursday night, so it is Paint and Pendulum night. We're gonna have an extremely fun and tense session today. At least that's what I foresee. Does someone want to open us up with a recap?
Sure, it might be my turn. Let me find my notes real quick.
That's fair.
Last session I had a lot of notes for. We at the end of the session before, we had stepped into a crypt and had the door slammed right beside us. And we wandered down into the crypt and ended up talking to three separate old women. The first was Marina in the green room. She was baking at the time. We ended up chatting a bit about her and her sisters, who are all clerics of death, make sure their bodies lie at rest. And then Alvera rudely cast a zone of truth on her. And she then started telling us more of the truth about her sister Wanda, who was closer to the entrance, about the person that she had mentioned earlier that had come down and gone deep in. But apparently his name was Lithka, which was someone we were interested in investigating. He apparently comes up periodically, gets supplies, which includes stealing corpses from the tomb, and heads back down and is kind of rude to them. She and her sisters each blessed the three lagoons, which is part of why the elderly live here. So the elderly who come here live so long. They take away a lot of their pains and aches and heartaches, and they turns out the three sisters are each hags, and they each are feeding off of basically these negative parts of these old people, imagining to make the old folks who live longer and keep themselves with plenty of power from feeding off of those negative aspects. Livka apparently used to be a member of the House of the Mind. He wears full body coverage, including a mask. And while chatting with them, we kind of came to the opinion that while she and her sisters are generally not viewed as good, they seem to be doing things that are okay. And at least at the moment, we haven't figured out if what they're doing is bad in any way. We went to talk to Mother Elise. She commented that things that go into the deeper catacombs where Lifka has his tower tend not to come back. She gave Ivy a hug and a curse. The curse at the end, when it faded off, did make Ivy feel better. It did seem to heal her physically, but until the curse wore off, it wasn't great. We went and talked to Wanda, at which point other two sisters came up behind us, and it became clear that this might be a little bit more of a tenser conversation. One of my notes says that Alvera monologues about soup and time.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Apparently, Lifka treats the three hags as if they were servants and is a bit rude to them. We figure out that Wanda's a night hag, Marina is a sea hag, and Elise is an anise hag. Lifka had been taking bodies and has gathered many to fight for him. It's unclear if it was many bodies or many allies, but many. Lifka's been here for many years. He had made some deal with the hags where they kind of work for him, and he agrees not to unleash his experiments on them. His family line descends from here, the founders of Matria. Long ago, there was apparently a rift between his family and Lord Verandi, so the family left. The hags don't know how powerful he is, just he's been working for years building power. Yeah, I think that's most of everything. 2 out of the 3 hags got macaroni bracelets, according to my notes.
All 3.
All 3? Oh, I missed logging the last hag.
Yeah, Ivy did mention as she was leaving Wanda's that she did give her a bracelet as well.
Okay, that didn't make it in my notes.
And yeah, that was pretty much all of it. I believe the only thing I believe was slightly different was that the Vivariandi family had a rift with the Madrigals. And so the Vivariandis left Matria. Is I believe what it was, but otherwise that was pretty much it. Lots of info.
Yep. Yeah.
Lots of info. You guys seemingly know that deeper in the catacombs lies the way to Lifka's tower. I believe the other thing that had been noted to you was that if you're going to go beyond there, no one who has come back, and you should make sure that you're definitely prepared. And you guys took that to heart and decided to leave the catacombs. You went, got some rooms at an inn for a couple of gold that included breakfast in the morning, and you all passed the night. Alvira, you do get the benefits of a long rest. However, you had very dark dreams last night. You had a lot of nightmares, things from your past, and from your spirit friends, kind of in a very dark light, very terrifying, lots of running, that kind of thing. But you do wake up and get the benefits of a long rest, but it was a very fitful sleep for you.
That sounds about right, because this place is making me a little bit freaking crazy.
And with that, the day is yours. Unless if there's anything specific you wanted to do during the night when you guys were sleeping and resting and preparing in the inn. I believe there was some discussion about what you were doing next, but I open it up to you guys. What would you like to do?
Does Alvira remember any details of the nightmare?
Give me a base wisdom check. No, because of your bard stuff, I'll allow you to do charisma instead.
Base
because it's kind of your whole bard thing.
23.
It's hard to remember specific details. I don't know if you've ever had one of those nightmares where like it shifts scenes frequently. And you just, a lot of the time you remember like undead, it would be like people from your past, but they would be these grotesque rotted bodies, and all kinds of things. Sometimes they would try and call out to you for help or something. Other times they were chasing you. But I do think that the overall like theme that you would remember specifically would be there. Everything seemed to be focused on some kind of undead or death.
Okay. Okay, so in the morning when Alvira wakes up and after the nightmares, normally she's extremely chatty and a fire sort of burns within her. Sai even always called her like a firebug because, you know, why not? She always liked to play with fire. But when she wakes up, the nightmare has kind of set into her to a point of almost flame extinguishing, but what burns inside her now feels much colder. And she's quiet. She doesn't approach the group like usual. She doesn't have shit to say or jokes to tell or orders to give. She just kind of sits near where everybody is if they're already gathered. If nobody else is up yet, then she'll find a spot, you know, tucked off near the fireplace or something, but still away.
Right. So yeah, you go down and eventually like the innkeeper will bring you, you know, some porridge or bread, sausage, whatever you want for breakfast, was included with the room. So you kind of duck off into a corner by yourself and get your food. Would you say that Alvira is like an early riser?
I would say not usually. Nighttime tends to be her favorite time.
Yeah.
So not usually, but Probably up a little earlier than normal, yeah. After a rough night's sleep, just didn't really want to deal with it anymore.
Understandable. What about you, Sonny? What do you like in the morning?
Sunny's up to see the sunrise.
I kind of figured. I was gonna say that means Sunny might already be up, so you know.
We're probably up and out at the beach watching the sun come up over the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, doesn't do a morning jog, but you know, they're always kind of a little bit moving and energetic, and it's just kind of like out and looking around. Old people tend to be up early too.
I was going to say probably about 20 to 30 minutes after what you would consider the actual sunrise, you know, when you got that nice view of it on the horizon, especially on this beach across the ocean. It's very beautiful, all those reds and oranges and pinks of the sky. And then it kind of rises and, you know, starts to kind of just turn red and then blue. And probably in midway between that transition, when it's starting to lose its appeal, is when a lot of people start showing up to the beaches. You see them laying out towels. A couple people go in the water, but it seems much more chill and relaxed. Most people setting up umbrellas or towels or something like that.
I think that's Sunny's cue to go and wander someplace else. They were here for the sunrise and to say good morning to the sun. Probably goes looking for the others, even though isn't really expecting everyone to be awake yet.
Okay. And Shield, what about you? Is there anything specific for your morning routine?
Yeah, so Shield is also an early riser.
Okay.
Old habits from a nightly order he used to be a part of. So you know, it's a beach town, and beach towns always have those like outside calisthenics, like jungle gym type things.
Yeah.
So this morning, Shield is sharing that with the weird brand of a jacked 80-year-old. You all know the one. So, you know, quiet prayers to himself, to his deity, and calisthenics before he goes to see if Sunny is still staring at the sun.
And yeah, it's probably around the same time that Sunny's starting to feel like there's getting to be more people and it's not really the sunrise any longer. And you guys make your way back to the inn. There are a couple people. This is, it's, you know, we'll say it's off season. There's not a ton of people staying at the inn, really. Most people who come here end up staying here and having their own place. But there are a couple of random strangers sitting at tables, and after a moment of looking around, unless she is like actively hiding, I assume you would see Elvira kind of dipped off by herself as you all enter the tavern room.
I think Sunny is probably thinking about, I'll let Ivy sleep in a little bit longer. But like wanders over to Alvira. It's like, good morning. The sun came up. It's a good morning.
You look like death.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. And you'll notice that her usually bright, like turquoise eyes are sort of glazed over, and there's this like silver sort of flicker in them. I look like I feel. I imagine Ivy is probably still in bed, mouth wide open, macaroni spread across the sheets, and her foot dangling off the end of the bed. Very Junie B. Jones, just kind of like sprawled out, you know, mouth wide open, drool coming out. Just the most comfortable as can be anywhere.
Yeah. And yeah, Ivy hasn't made it down quite yet. But as you guys kind of get there and you, Shield and Sunny are at the table for a little bit, your breakfasts are brought out again, you know, porridge, eggs, toast, sausage, whatever you would want for breakfast is included. Within reason, obviously it's not a huge feast, but, and while you guys are eating, Ivy does make her way down. She's also very quiet, doesn't seem to say much unless directly addressed, but she does make her way down and eat her breakfast as well.
It's quiet before the storm.
So we're gonna go poke the thing, or do your dreams say we shouldn't?
Well, I had the worst night's sleep possible, if you could even call it sleep. Like, I'm no stranger to other worlds crawling into my dreams and implanting their own wishes and desires there, but this was uncomfortable, like death and decay and faces that I recognized crying for help, and my inability to offer such. It just, I feel extinguished. And I think it's probably best to not pussyfoot around it anymore and just deal with Livka best as possible.
Do you think the bad dreams are partially because of Wanda?
Well,
Like
hags are true to their nature. She didn't seem to really appreciate my candor. So it wouldn't surprise me if she had her own particular brand of suffering to offer in my direction. But it's definitely tossed me a bit off kilter today. I still think that there's more to them than they wanted to offer. I don't think they're just helping people out of the goodness of the deepest, darkest subcockles of their shriveled raisin hearts.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly getting something from this all, and like, I don't, if they're really, yeah, there's definitely something suspicious about what they're doing.
Yeah. And I just don't see a coven of hags, 3 or more, regardless, taking the back seat to a young necromancer who's up to no good. So I definitely felt the I'm really lying to you in the conversation, but I don't know which part of it was truth and which part of it was lie.
I mean, the question is do they have something that they lost to Lifka that he stole that they need, or does he have some way to otherwise influence them? I don't know a lot about hags, but like it feels like they would have something they'd care about. And like I feel like stories of hags have them together, and they're like the 3 of them are staying spread out. And like, yes, they're in the same catacomb, but they're like, I don't know. Things did feel slightly weird there, and I don't know why or how.
I'm almost curious if their coven formation was circumstantial and not chosen. Does that make sense? Like they decided the 3 of us are stronger together. I think you're idiots, each of them thinking that about the others, but I think you're idiots, but we are stronger as a group than we are individually. You mind your business, I'll mind mine. That's the feeling I get, because they harbor contention in the directions of the others, each in their own little catty, womanly, nitpicky way. And I don't know if Livka necessarily took something from them, but from my understanding, hags want the deepest, most intimate part of any human or individual, human or not alike, living mortal being, and that is the soul. And Livka kind of deals with what happens once the soul is gone, the dead body part. So I feel like it's actually a mutually beneficial relationship. They get the soul, and when the carcass dies, Livka gets another thing to his army. But the only thing I could feel like is there's some overlap there because of the elongated life. So
like the elongated life feels like almost the opposite of what they want if they're feeding off of souls. I think they're feeding off of the living. I think they're feeding off of like the pain of these old people and things. I don't think they're feeding off of them dying.
Well, off the old people, it would be easy, right? But Matria, retirement community or not, does have natural borns and a young population. I think my thought is that Livka's meant to be the heir of the house of the mind, and it doesn't seem like a pressing concern to any of them. So my thought is, maybe what if it's Livka attempting to disintegrate both of them in a sort of rise to power sort of situation? Does that make sense?
I mean, I could see him trying to take back this place that his family founded and was from, but left.
It is always possible Livka's keeping them in check somehow.
Yeah, very possible. I mean, he's still fairly young by my understanding. So I wouldn't say he's a top-tier archmage, experienced wizard with the capabilities of fully leashing a full-grown coven of hags, but there has to be some sparkle in his eye that offers subservience from them.
His appearance could be a ruse, if he's supposedly figuring out the key to longer life.
I think he's turned himself undead, which is why he keeps himself entirely covered.
Indeed, maybe he's older than he seems.
I'm almost curious if it was Livka we met the day in Glaciava.
What was the person in Glaciava like?
Kind of
Shifty.
very, very shifty. Yeah. Very secluded, kept a hood over his face. He had his face uncovered, but he kept a hood over his face. He had dark robes. He was off by himself. He was in search of a family heirloom, aka the rapier we are now in possession of. We didn't get a name. He said he was down on his luck and playing games of chance, and just kind of disappeared. We weren't able to find him even after retrieving the rapier anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Vivariandi is on the list of names. We are in possession of it, and it kind of makes sense because from my understanding, Glaciava is the place of Benalia that is the closest point between life and death. Like the veil between life and death is very, very thin there.
Mm-hmm.
So a young necromancer in the area would make some sense to me. And also, we don't know who founded Glaciava. We don't know what the founding family of Glaciava was, and if the Vivariandis were pushed from Matria, you know.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Doesn't have to be that. It doesn't necessarily mean that he was, but it's my my thought kind of idling in the back of my mind is I feel like we've met this man before.
Makes sense.
But nonetheless, he's still, even as somebody who draws whatever it is that's inside of me from other places, what he's doing feels unnatural. It doesn't feel progressive in terms of the future. It feels like something more repressive in terms of the future. Like, why do you want to cure death as a necromancer? I call bullshit. But that's just my own grim, dark opinion of the situation in the moment.
Definitely. So what is it you guys would like to do? Are you going back to the catacombs as you're eating breakfast? If you guys still need to discuss, that's totally okay too.
No, that's okay. We haven't really scouted the tower above ground. We know how to get in below ground through the catacombs. So whatever feels right to the party, if we want to send off Batty White to go scout, I can do so. to see if we could find a good point of entry or whatever have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, having Batty White Scout might be a good idea.
So I will do that. And since I got up early in the morning, and I should have mentioned it earlier, I'm going to also wear my mask. I'm going to put my mask on and take the time that I need to attune to that to be able to go forward there.
Yep. Any other preparing of spells or items or anything anyone needs to, feel free. For your reference, Ivy, they kind of woke up and had breakfast. You came down, were eating breakfast, and they were discussing. Alvira had some nightmares, and there was some discussion. Hags are probably not being fully honest. And essentially, I believe we're sending Batty White to scout out the catacombs and the area around it to see if there's maybe a different point of entry.
Cool.
Is that correct? Did I understand that correctly? Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you would like to give me like a perception for that, I assume that's some kind of like familiar.
Yes. So you want perception? Wow. I am not perceptive today. I got only an 8. I'm a better investigator than perceiver.
Understandable. That's okay with that. Betty still, sees the 2 crypts at the back of the graveyard that you guys had seen when you were there. You went into the one on the left. There was another on the right. You do remember 2 sets of stairs winding down. Not a ton aside from that. There are gravestones and all that you guys walked through, but it's kind of up on this hill, and the hill keeps going, and beyond the graveyard gets very open. The one thing I will say she might notice is in the distance, maybe an extra 2 to 5 miles beyond the graveyard, there is a tall jutting point of rock. It just seems like an odd natural pillar of rock.
So nothing really informative, just a small, or
Yeah, just kind of like
a monolith. Okay. Oh, I'll report that back.
Okay. So yeah, reports back. There doesn't seem to be another entrance other than the 2 crypts, and kind of describes the landscape there. There is a tall jutting point of rock 5 or so miles beyond the graveyard out, and it kind of just gets open and wild from there. Open grasslands, some trees, cliffs leading down to the beaches.
So maybe the tower is entirely underground?
It is a wizard tower of some sorts. Maybe it's like Calthax, and you have to know the magic way in. Or we could slum it up in the catacombs.
There was an entrance to there from the catacombs, so...
Yeah, you were told that he resided deeper in the catacombs, that deeper in it got very strange.
Yeah. So we could attempt to do so. It looks like it's really our only point of entry, because above ground I didn't see much of anything, just a pretty standard dark stone structure.
Yeah, unless you all, wanted to go explore a little bit and see if you found anything out there, is certainly something you could do. Otherwise, you can certainly make your way to the catacombs.
Okay. I guess we'll go to the catacombs then, if everybody else is cool with that.
Those
Go
were
back,
the
see
hag lair, correct?
Yes, my
That
BFF.
is correct. Yes.
Yeah. Shield, I know you stood watch outside of the catacombs while we went down and kind of did the talkie-talkie thing because Vikia Vicari doesn't really like you associating with these kind of folks, but
It's considered light to moderate blasphemy.
yes. So my suggestion is you make like a tree and shut the hell up while we walk through here. Because they don't take too kindly to my mouth, and your mouth and my mouth together is probably going to get us killed before we get to Livka.
They liked my mouth though.
So we're not lopping their heads off.
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Listen, you don't lop off anybody. If they have a macaroni bracelet on, they're cool. Don't worry about them. We've already made contact. They're chilling. We're chilling. But if they don't have one on, then you might be like,
Ivy, I feel like I truly must emphasize, if we get solid evidence that they're causing undue harm to the innocent old folks around here, I am morally and religiously obligated to murder all three of them.
I think what Ivy is saying is you should ask for the macaroni bracelet back first.
I will get the macaroni bracelet back first. I assume you don't want blood on it. It looked like it was a labor of love of some kind.
It was definitely a labor of love, but if they get dyed a little red, okay.
I'm just saying, as it stands, from what you all have told me, they are removing pain, which is a net positive. However, if they are also stealing life, there's going to have to be a bladed discussion.
Listen, Shield, there's no outward proof that they're stealing life. It's just my inward conspiracy theories that everybody in Benalia wants to see the continent burn and not thrive the way it should.
Indeed, this is why I have restrained thus far.
But I'm with you. I would much sooner chop the macaroni off their arm and their head. But
wait, I don't think I gave any of them necklaces. I think they all three of them have bracelets. So just go for the bracelets.
Good. I will keep their arms intact.
Bracelets. I need to learn how to cast a spell onto the macaroni bracelet before I give it to people.
There you go.
Alternatively, locate object on macaroni bracelet.
Oh
my god!
That's a good point.
Start scrying through your macaroni bracelet.
Listen, this is what happens when you put the illegal and the legal clerics together. We be over here making up solutions, you know?
They think you're a quirky dum-dum giving people macaroni art. Little did they know that the wire bug is on their wrist.
That's
a tracking device.
Be like, get tracked, hags.
Christopher.
So you all begin making your way through town. You again walk past the compound for the House of the Heart. There are people walking around. None of them seem to pay you a ton of attention. I do need everyone to make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw as you begin to approach the graveyard, though.
Fuck. Did you say 17?
I did.
God damn,
actually, it's 15. I'm sorry.
Oh, 15. Okay.
I'm thinking of a different saving throw. Sorry.
How do I have a +9 and I still fail? How do I have a +9?
Do we all need to roll? Is that what you're telling me? We're rolling something?
Yep. DC 15 Wisdom save.
Oh, Wisdom save. I am. Hey, 17. Hell
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the legal and illegal clerics, as you're getting probably 100 feet or so away from the cemetery that still has this like dark shadow over it, you both get this feeling in your gut and the sudden drive that we should not go here. We are not welcome.
Yeah, I don't think the hags want us to, or the old ladies want us to visit. Maybe another time.
Of course they don't. That's why we visit.
Yeah, on second thought, keep the macaroni bracelets. I think that will be a good idea. I don't think I need it back.
Well,
essentially, for your guys' reference, you two are under the suggestion spell, telling you not to go here. But I do believe you can make a saving throw every like 5 minutes or so on this. I'm not going to make you spend 8 hours arguing with people.
The whole session is just us arguing about why we should not go into the spooky
Yeah.
graveyard.
Yeah, pretty much.
And meet the spooky hacks, who may or may not like macaroni bracelets. Still up for debate.
How could they not like your bracelets? But so that's the reason why we shouldn't go take it from them.
You know,
Well,
if they don't like my macaroni bracelets, I don't even want to see them. Okay,
You know-
I feel so offended.
Okay, I hear you. Counterpoint: when I didn't want to go, you all made me go, so you're all going.
Listen,
That is
like,
very fair. That actually, you know what, Shield? Usually we don't stand on the same side of the line, but I'm gonna toe this one with you. We did make you go.
That's right.
I mean, we did, but you were also outnumbered. And now you're like at a half and half type of situation, you know.
I think my multiple personalities make it for me able to have 3 votes here and not just one. So you know it.
And I am as large as approximately 3 to 4 Sunnies. So I should get 3 to 4 votes.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you guys are making up all of these votes all of a sudden.
Well, stack Sunnies up until you reach the top of my head, and then we also weigh Sunny. So we'll just have to determine how many Sunnies a shield is worth. Regardless, however, we're going into the catacombs.
In that case, I am 2 Sunnies worth of votes. So therefore, if you put me in Sunny, that's 3 Sunnies right there to combat your 3 Sunnies.
Which means with Elvira, I win.
Listen,
Yes.
we're not worried about her and her multiple stuff going on over there. Okay, I don't even know if that's real. She's saying that to me. That could be a lie. She is a politician. She knows how to work people. She was
No,
an
I changed
ex-politician.
career paths. I changed career paths.
She changed career paths, but the charisma is still there. It's still there.
I'm charming. And you
She's
just
a
see this
journalist.
flicker of silver flame flash in her eyes when she tells you, I'm charming, just through the mask.
If both of you would like to do another saving throw, you certainly can. There were definitely arguments made for both sides that were good. Good enough that I will allow a prompt of the saving throw.
Oh, okay. Got an 18. 15. My bad, 15.
Sunny
Wait.
is still failing.
Does that
Okay.
beat it or no? I got a 15.
Yes, meets or beats.
Okay.
So Ivy, as this is going on, their logic starts to make sense, and you feel your fear drip away.
Damn, maybe he really is 3 Sunnies worth of votes.
You know, as a spellcaster, you might be able to infer that there was some kind of charm or enchantment cast on you. Sunny is still convinced.
But all I'm really hearing is we're measuring all votes in Sunny's, and therefore Sunny is right.
I think when you stack up the Sunnies, we now have at least, 5 Sunnies?
I will give you 1
6.
bite if you stop complaining and get in the catacomb.
Oh, that's so tempting for
I will
Sunny.
give you 2 if you hurry up.
That's 1 for each ankle, Sonny. You better take it. It's the only
Sonny,
Can I
opportunity.
save one for later?
You get 1 now, 1 later.
Sunny, you can have advantage on the next saving throw just because this is playing into your nature.
I
It's
will
like a
make you
down
macaroni. I will make you a macaroni
Oh my
necklace in the shape of a sun. Did you just
I saw those rolls, Sonny!
That's apparently was very convincing. We'll just go with that
And I'm assuming you beat it.
on both of them.
Yeah, both times. Yeah.
Once for each bite.
So that fear at this, your nature kind of pushes this out. And similar as a caster, having been under this effect, you can probably tell there was some kind of enchantment magic that was stoking your fear, helping to get you to think this was the right course and only course of action, but that starts to dissipate.
Take it.
I can wait for later. We're about to do a thing.
Very good.
You all
Come on.
continue. You all continue into the darkness of the cemetery. Are you taking the same crypt, the other crypt? It doesn't make a huge difference, but I figure.
Well, does the other one lead us right past the nagging hags or no?
Yeah, so essentially you're not positive because you didn't go into that crypt yesterday. Right. But you do recall when you got to the bottom of those initial staircase that rounded, you came out of this left rounded staircase, and directly across from you was another rounded staircase going up that you probably assume goes to this other crypt.
Okay.
Okay.
So either way, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I feel like not going through the ones with the hags eliminates them being tempted to interfere.
Well, we're kind of gonna pass them regardless, I think. But if we're trying to avoid their side, they're all like on the south side, so we can come down the stairs, go around the top side of the center, down the stairs again, up the north catacombs that way, down and around and out through the tunnel at the end, so it stays off of their direct line of sight. Do they have some sort of magic that's going to tell them that we're there? Fucking probably, but
good enough.
Yeah.
So you all make your way over and pull open the large stone door to one of the crypts and make your way down that other crypt. Again, it is a dark staircase, and as you're going down, it takes you a moment because there's something that feels different this time. And as you're going, you realize you don't see the flickering light at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh joy.
And as you make it down, you see, I believe half of you have dark vision. So those with dark vision can see that it is just dark. Those without dark vision also can tell that it's dark, but darkness without dark vision is a little different. But yeah, you guys look, you don't smell any smells, like any
rain?
baking, tea, or anything. You don't hear any movement.
Oh, yeah.
It is dark and seems fairly empty.
Okay. It's that new type of darkness. I'm just gonna use my prestidigitation to make some sparks.
Okay. And they kind of spark, and you do it every so often as you walk. With the sparks, I'll say that gives you enough shield staying close enough light that you can kind of see around you. And as you guys make your way forward, moving along that outer wall away from their rooms as much as... Yep.
On a 25 stealth...
Yep.
I want my feet off the ground and my wings silently carrying me. I do not want to be touching no ground in case something tries to grab my feet. I'm really small.
Okay.
But I'm big, but I'm really small.
Okay. You guys, without dark vision, Owl Vera, essentially, you don't hear her, you can't see her. I assume Sunny with armor is a little more noticeable, so you can hear Sunny moving around, but Owl Vera seems to disappear. Obviously, Sunny, you can see Owl Vera kind of flying and silently flapping her wings every so often, but not really making a sound.
Trying to be quiet. Sunny is not really successful at quiet.
I'm just holding Shield's hand since we have to be close for this.
I'll hold Ivy's other hand.
Yes.
Those of you with dark vision, everyone can give it to me. The two without dark vision, just give me a disadvantage, but perception check for everyone.
22.
Okay.
Perception. That'll be a crisp 11.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Okay.
Disadvantage. I got an 8 at disadvantage.
Okay, so that's fair. Those of you without dark vision aren't seeing much beyond the range of those sparks. You guys continue. Alvira, as you're going, I imagine you flying with the others holding hands. You're a little bit ahead of them. And as you're going, there's something that feels different. You can't put your finger on it as you go. Nothing attacks you. There doesn't seem to be a trap or anything that triggers on you. But as you're going, something seems different. Oh, I apologize, Shield. You did not have disadvantage on that then.
Okay, we good.
I apologize. I vaguely remembered someone saying half the party has no dark vision.
Yeah, Ivy and Sai didn't.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Yep.
Noticing things are different. I would like to do the thing where I view things differently, where things kind of like shift for me.
You're like seeing visibility, sure.
Yeah.
You can certainly go ahead. Sunny, you guys are walking along and you kind of notice the same feeling coming.
Can I get an insight into what's different?
I was actually going to say, with the 22, if you would like to, you certainly can for more specifics on it. But after you get into kind of that second larger chamber, you realize what's different. Before, there were very few bodies in these cubbies. But as you go, it takes a while to click, and you're like, there's none. All of the remaining bodies have been cleared out.
Oh, so it's empty.
And Elvira, you probably noticed the same thing through that vision, but in a different way. You're looking through the walls and whatever, and you can usually see the outlines of things. And after a minute of doing this and looking around, you're like, oh, I'm not seeing any outlines for any bodies in any of these holes.
Yeah, I'm gonna individually connect to the folks behind me, and all I'm gonna say is they snitched.
I'm gonna tell you, they some hoes for that.
They kind of told us they were gonna, unless we made them a better offer than Livka could.
That's true.
Shield will nudge Sunny and point at Sunny's holy symbol, and just kind of pantomime for Sunny to keep that on hand.
Oh, I'm prepared to light them up.
And he's like, I trusted you. I thought you were good.
Be like,
Cleric field day, I swear.
I gave them those macaroni bracelets that I put all my blood, sweat, tears, and love into just for them to do. I'm getting them shits back. Them shits are coming back with me.
You guys aren't wrong, though. That was a question that was asked, and Wanda was very honest that, I told you a lot of things about Lifko. Why would I not tell him everything about you?
See? Yeah, she was honest. But she's also a hater in Ivy's book now, so Ivy got mad.
I mean, snitching is still snitching, even if you tell someone you're gonna snitch.
Yeah, in Infernal, Wanda translates to bitch, so it worked out pretty well.
So there you go. Ivy is now on a hose mad.
But so it's kind of in that room with the 3 sarcophaguses, down the stairs before they split, that you notice this. Wanda's black room is off to your left. And then there is that other tunnel that goes deeper.
Let's go up and around that, because there's stairs on either side of that.
Yep. So you want to steering clear of the black room, go that way. Yep. You guys are sticking to that right wall. Mm-hmm. You continue in, and you walk for a while. And then you start to notice something different. For a little while, the stone of the catacombs, these tunnels, got very rough carved, but then they become very, very smooth and very well made, better than the front end, almost made by magic. And as you're walking, you start to see things on the wall. And once you get up to the first of those, you all, at least those of you who can see, notice bones pinned to the wall with iron spikes and things in odd shapes. And you can make out a little further ahead more of these strange symbols of bones carved into the wall. If anyone would like to, they're certainly welcome to Arcana or History or some kind of intelligence to try and investigate these symbols and bones further.
Would religion be fine to see if they're particularly blasphemous?
That can definitely work.
Very good. It's a +0, but hey, why not?
That'll
be a 16.
Okay. What was that, Ivy?
I got a 9 on Arcana because this game freaking hates. I'm failing every intelligence roll.
Can I try to aid my legal cleric?
Certainly. Ivy, if you want to have
in Arcana to give her advantage on that.
Gary Gygax is looking at your D&D Beyond account right now.
For real.
And every time you roll, he's hitting tilt on the servers.
Gotta be.
Because the servers are just Wow, I'm forgetting the name of the game, and I remembered Tilt. Never mind. I'm just gonna be
League of
quiet now.
Legends?
No,
Oh.
the with the flippers and the damn pinball. God,
Really?
I'm losing my fucking brain already. I'm just gonna mute.
Pinball?
Pinball, yeah.
Yeah, pinball.
I mean, I'm going to give you a help on that Arcana check so that you can
Yeah.
roll it with advantage.
Yeah, you can roll. You can
Thank
roll
you.
another Arcana and take the higher of the two.
Okay, there we go. 22.
Okay, so that works. So I believe it was a 16 religion and a 16 Arcana, correct? Shield, Alvira.
I got a 15 Arcana, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
So-
It's
16
okay.
religion.
Those are close, and you guys essentially get the same vibe. They seem like some kind of runes or arcane symbols of some kind, but neither of you can really get a hard grasp on which it is. And you're looking, Ivy, and they look really foreign to you. It seems to not be a magic that you necessarily typically specialize in. And then Sunny says something about one of them reminding her of an aspect of this of the revivify spell. And that's when things start to click for you, Ivy, and you remember a book you had read during some of your studies that you didn't really copy a lot of spells out of, but it was a book of necromancy spells. And you can tell that these are different random runes from random necromancy spells. They don't seem to go together or anything like that. It's not like if you put the runes together, they create a spell or a proper incantation, but you recognize them from various, here, this one that Sunny saw kind of looked like a sun, similar to some part of Revivify. This one looks like a piece of maybe Animate Dead. All kinds of different spells with random runes that you're starting to remember bits and pieces of as you look at these symbols.
Okay. I'm gonna let the crew know. They doing some dark magic up in here. Like they doing some necromancy up in here. These runes are looking familiar but not familiar at the same time. Okay. Obviously we're in the right place, but
Should we disturb the runes just in case, or does that maybe feel
Seems like
more like a trap?
There are also a lot
Did
of
you
them.
say there was like bones around? You said there was bones?
They're like pinned into the walls with like iron spikes forming these symbols. And like I said, maybe 20 feet down, you see another pair of symbols on either wall, and then further. And depending on how far you guys go, after a good 30 minutes of continuing down, you can certainly mess with the symbols if you want. But all semblance of symbols disappears further down, as the entire walls are just covered in bones pinned to them. Every inch of them, bones crisscrossing over each other.
can we do some sort of like rites or something?
Well,
I mean, I'm assuming these are people's bones that like they probably got from the catacombs upstairs. That's rude.
They definitely look like humanoid bones.
Rude.
yeah.
So I could
So-
ceremony, it would take forever. And it kind of feels like he's making a place that's very necromantic. So like he starts out on the edges with just a little, and then he's doing more and more of it. I don't know what that means, but it does feel like what he's doing.
Can I detect magic to see if they would like curse us or something if we touch them or disturb them?
Certainly.
All right. What I want to do.
So you do your detect magic spell. I don't think there's a roll or anything like that. You just kind of get blips of magic. And while there is an overwhelming feeling of dark necromantic energy that seems to get stronger the deeper you go, it doesn't seem to be particularly emanating from any of the bones or anything like that. They do seem to just be bones that were hung as decorations and then further on to just cover the walls.
Okay. Ivy would like to say fuck yo shit and then like take some of the bones off periodically as we're walking through.
Okay. So as you're going, you just kind of take a couple of them out so they no longer fully form those runes.
Yes.
And some of them do take a while. There is like an iron spike pounded through bone pinning them there, but you do pull them off and those of you watching see that they're no longer those runes that you had been starting to recognize before. They're now just lines and random bones. And then you all get to that point where, like I said, it's no longer symbols of bones. The entire walls are just bone.
Mm. This person's weird. He should definitely now be the Archmage. I'm sorry. I'm coming for his job. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Is there enough bones here for me to put together 5 corpses?
In theory, definitely. Yeah, it would probably take 30 to 45 minutes to, gather the bones and form them, make sure that you're getting a couple legs, arms, etc. But you could definitely do it.
Just don't know if we really have that much time to spare, but I need 5 corpses.
I mean, if you need it, like, we haven't started anything yet. Now's the time to get it rather than later when it's in a hurry.
Well, maybe if each of us assemble one, it won't take as long.
It's like a puzzle. They're like macaroni people, except out of bones.
That's right. You right, see?
I don't. Okay.
Sure. And definitely, with the 4 of you working together, you can definitely get it done in like 10 to 15 minutes instead of that 30 minutes.
Okay, good.
You get some bones, and if I'm assuming you would like to use your mask, I think, to cast Dance
maybe might. I am going to definitely do that, yeah. Once I have the 5 corpses, or the 5 put together, I'm going to some dark tendrils of power, which some of my friends have seen before. Even though it's dark here, you can feel them kind of radiate from me as they kind of move towards these 5 bones that we've laid out, 5 sets of bones that we've laid out here. And you can hear some rustling and the sound of bones knocking together as they kind of assemble themselves. And they kind of get a little chunkier. Some fleshiness comes back to them. And we get 5 zombies.
Can we name them?
I mean, you can.
I mean, it's just about like naming cows on your farm if they're all meant for beef and not for milk. Probably not a good idea.
Okay. I was just going to name them like, Carl, Jarl, Barl, Zarl, and Jake.
They're more like chattel than anything.
We can all name, so they're all named Ted. It can be Ted number 1, Ted number 2.
I think I'm going to cast a spell on each of Ivy and I.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Death Ward. It lasts for 8 hours.
Okay. Yep. And I believe that's the one that when you would go to 0, you go to 1 instead, and the spell is expended.
Correct.
Okay.
And also, if they're subject to an effect that would kill them instantly without dealing damage, it's negated.
Okay.
Because I feel like if someone's going to like mouth off to Lifka, it's probably going to be Ivy. And go.
Interesting.
Thank you.
So you do this, and I believe your detect magic. Oh, I guess it lasts. What is it? 10 minutes or is it an hour?
Detect magic.
It's probably concentration.
Yeah, I think it's for. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, it's concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay, so your 10 minutes would have passed by the time you guys got the bodies back together or anything. But so yeah you guys finished getting these bodies, and you see Elvira kind of bend over them a bit and then stand up, and this dark magic emanates from her before they animate themselves and get up.
And again, you'll just see that sort of silver, mindless flame kind of flicker in her eyes after she does it. You
all continue forward?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So you walk, And the floor, like I said, at this point, it has become extremely smooth, almost like polished marble, except it's like this black rock. The walls, other than the bits you guys have taken off, are just plastered with bones. You walk for about 20 minutes in this dark, horrific, blasphemous tunnel before whoever is leading kind of puts out their hands for everyone to stop as the pathway ends at a cliff, at a sheer, what seems to be a sheer drop, looking out over a large cavern that you all can see as you look out and look in the map. You are looking out at this. You are essentially at the bottom of the map, just off the map. That map starts like right at the bottom of the cliff. Who's the highest passive perception here?
Probably Sunny at night.
I was going to say, honestly, it's not that hard. Anyone with a DC 12 as you look out would eventually notice a like steep switchback staircase carved into the cliff that you could walk down to get down to the ground. But before that, as you look out, you see small rock formations jutting out of the ground at odd points. You can make out some small objects and things strewn across them, but can't tell what it is from this distance, as your eyes are drawn to two other significant things about this cavern. The first is a very large, giant stone tower. It has what seems to be like a turret going up the side, and the main body of the tower kind of starts wide and narrows a little bit and then rises and connects straight into the ceiling. The turret seems to stop just below the ceiling, but it seems like either the ceiling is the roof of this structure or it continues into that structure. The other thing are all of these little guys you can see on the map there. I know they look like goblins, but they are not. Anyone who can see that far in darkness can definitely tell that these seem to be figures robed in black. They seem to be humanoid, but shambling very, very slowly. They move in groups of 4 in this almost like procession. You can see 2 almost twin-like rock formations, probably 20 or 30 feet from the base of the cliff. And they seem to come up to that point and then loop back around and go back behind the structure and then curl back around in a constant circling march.
Are we trying to be sneaky here, or do we get to blow up the undead now?
Well, if my eyes aren't deceiving me, there's a corridor of them with a couple of them in front of us. Do we want to expend the time and energy now, or do we want to try to get past them and deal with them later? Because if we go straight to Livka, if these are all under his command, once he's gone, so will they be.
That's true. Maybe we want to be a little sneaky.
Yeah, okay. I can offer assistance to those of you who aren't very sneaky if needed.
Let's see, I have levitate as one of my powers for my staff. What does that entail?
I think that's just up and down. You have to physically pull to move.
Yeah, don't do that. It's good for getting off the ground quick, but it's terrible for control.
Yeah, it's like I'm in combat, so I raise myself 60 feet and just hurl spells from above without moving.
Or we put a rope around her, and Shield can pull her around as a balloon.
This is true. I could sling you.
That's true. He can sling and I can blast, so...
And anyone with a base like intelligence roll, passive, I guess you could call it a passive investigation above a 12, does know, you guys know that zombies aren't necessarily perceptive, and sneaking past them is definitely something that's typically doable and you could probably manage it. But those of you who can see that far do see what seems to be a door cut into that base of the structure. And as you can see, the zombies kind of march with a double column on either side of the structure. So you could certainly sneak past, but the really tricky part is going to be actually getting to the door, because you will have to cross their path one way or another.
What is the possibility that we can dress up like them and do like a little, Thriller dance to get up in there.
Are you asking me, the DM, or your party?
I'm asking my party.
Okay.
Well, we could probably body snatch these 4 right here in front of us and make quick work. But I just worry about noise because they'd be attracted to noise, I'm sure.
And also, like, because some of what I do is kind of bright, and this is not a low lit area.
I will offer you some assistance in your sneak ability.
Okay.
I'm going to offer you the guidance of the shadows, and you'll get a D4 on your stealth because that's my cantrip, and I'm not burning up stuff. I'll give everybody that needs guidance.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
And I've got an
I'd
18 stealth.
Okay.
All right, so
it's a stealth and then plus a D4.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
If you guys are trying to be sneaky, I would need a group stealth check.
Yep, it's a D4. But if you don't pass shield, I'll fix you. Don't worry.
I got an 11.
Okay.
That's with the D4.
Let's see. Bro, are you serious? I got a 2 and then the D4.
I got a 10 after the D4.
Okay.
Oh my god!
I got a 4 after the D4.
Just
So
corral him for a fireball already.
The only one that should need assistance is Ivy because they're not overly perceptive.
Yeah.
So, Ivy, I'm going to whisper to you some very, like, you're just going to hear this sort of like eerie whispering, and you're going to become invisible. Okay. And until you hit a creature with an attack, you will be invisible.
Okay.
If you hit a creature with an attack during your invisibility, the creature is going to take necrotic damage and be frightened. So try not to do that because necrotic damage heals dead things.
Okay.
It's the safest way for me to make you able to sneak past these little shits at this point in time.
They definitely cannot see you. I do believe that gives advantage on the overall stealth, but you are definitely out of sight at this.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
So if you would like to, roll again or do the advantage, you can. The others of you begin making your way down the switchback staircase. It probably takes a good 5 or 10 minutes to get to the base of this, as that cliff is like 80 feet up. It was definitely not a thing you could just walk and jump down or anything like that.
Alvira, what are you doing with your minions?
That was a better
Cool.
one.
Definitely.
So they'll probably be able to blend, right? So I'm gonna have, there's 5 of them. These ones move in packs of 4. So I'm just gonna have them kind of move along beside us, hopefully not causing any difference, and keeping themselves. I mean, they don't really say or do anything aside from listen, so that's really it.
Cool. So yeah, and you all make it down. None of the parading zombies seems to notice. You all are being relatively quiet. Shield's making a little bit of noise, but from what those of you know about, undead and zombies, you know that it's probably not going to get noticed. You guys kind of start making your way, dodging from rock to rock, and going until, like I said, you get to that really tricky part. You're kind of, is there a way for me to like ping?
Yes. This tool right here, you'll be able to draw.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you guys kind of make it, I assume, over to here. And as you march past some of these rock formations, you realize that the objects you would see strewn across some of them are bones. So yeah, you guys kind of sneak and dart from rock to rock, keeping your distance. And you get to this point and you can see the door. It's about, each of these grid blocks is about 5 feet. So it's probably about 40 or 50 feet away from you. The zombies have rotated a bit, but as I said, they're kind of always in this order, so there's always one looking at the back of another, and that kind of thing. So I guess I kind of figured this was a good point to say, how would you all like to try and do this? Because regardless of stealth, Ivy is invisible, so won't get noticed, but if you walk across their line of sight, they are going to see you.
Do you think moving one at a time, shambling through with maybe some of our compatriots would help? Ivy's invisible. That leaves me, Sunny, Shield, and 5 zombies. So we could separate into 2 packs of 4 and move towards the door, and then I'll pick the lock.
That's definitely doable. This is interesting. I don't know if I've ever called for one of these. Can I get a group, we'll say deception or performance check?
Ooh, what am I better at? Both. I'm good at both of those things.
Or really, in theory, any kind of charisma, if you have proficiency or in intimidation or persuasion. I'm not going to be... It could certainly be a persuasion. You're persuading them that you are zombies.
Oops. I'm going to give you a 25 deception.
Okay.
I reckon if you're fine with intimidation, I'll take intimidate.
You can definitely do it. The big thing is I think this is a charisma. You guys are trying to act like zombies.
I rolled the wrong one.
I got a 15.
Okay.
15.
What was that, Sonny?
I got a 16.
Okay.
Oh, I got an 18.
Okay. So you are going. And honestly, it doesn't seem like there's that much trouble. It seems like these things, Alvira, you know how undead works, and generally it's a relatively simple command. Patrol this area is a pretty simple command. I don't think they're looking close enough as you guys go, and there are a couple points where you get really close to one of them and you see one of them kind of turn like, what are you doing out of line? Why are you this close to us? But they don't seem to be that. You all seem to do a good job of kind of just and shambling along. That you make it to the door. And yeah, the door does appear to be locked, if you would like to try and pick the lock.
I'm going to give you a sleight of hand of, I already rolled it before going up.
Yep.
21.
Okay. So yeah, it takes you a minute. And as you're going, it seems like a really good lock that takes you a good 30 seconds. You're starting to sweat and get a little worried before you finally hear that click as the last pin goes and you feel the tumbler inside the lock roll and shift. And the door seems to be unlocked.
And so we'll slip in.
Cool. So what that means is we are changing.
Oh, and I just put all the Teds on here. All right, I'll drag them on.
I was going to say, you guys are essentially in this lighter tunnel. Let me grab the thing here. This is the entryway to this area. Let me double check because I have to pull a couple things out here too. Because as you open, you see a fire burning. This first level seems to be lit. And inside, you see several undead waiting for you.
Ted.
Evil Ted.
Sorry, I'm just double checking here. Oh, I'm sorry. That was wrong. Let me fix that. I need...
You guys got to drag your tokens on if you want them on.
How do I delete something?
Pick it up and drag it to the bottom. There will be like a trash can.
Okay, I see. Yep, thank you. So you all see 2 skeletons. Would appear to be some other form of fleshy undead. There's about 4 of those. And then in the back, you see another kind of undead that is notably different from the front ones, and none of these seem like basic zombies. The ones in front, did I drag the wrong thing? I did. That was supposed to be a different one. We're going to use this for it. That's what we wanted to grab. Oh, that's big. It's not actually that big.
Like, that's a big boy.
If anyone would like to give me some kind of intelligence to tell specifically what these are, you can. They are kind of less common forms of undead that I don't know that everyone just would recognize off top of their head.
I'll give you a 28 investigation.
Okay.
I got an 18 Arcana.
Okay, so
I'll
both
see
of
if
you
you'll-
can tell that as you open this door, looking at the door and near you guys, actually, now that I look, you can see the door a little further up, is 2 skeletons, 4 ghouls, and behind them stands a wight. And as they look at you, this is when I'm going to ask everyone to roll initiative.
Kia.
Bro, who is this person? Who is this person?
What
Listen.
gremlin lives in D&D Beyond today? All right.
Listen, whoever you are
Daisy.
at D&D, I'm about to come to your fucking house and shit on your lawn, bro.
Yeah, I got a 7 with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got a 7.
Okay. I'm going to go through this and just for your guys' reference because I have not run combat for you. Especially when there's numbers like this, I typically roll things in groups. So the ghouls are going to be a group, the skeletons are going to be a group, and the wight's going to be a group.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's
It just makes it far easier than having 6 enemy turns that are filtering in. So
The Bones Mahomes and the Casualty Zone are probably going first.
I'm getting
probably.
you. That's not very high, I believe.
So are we coming up the stairs from the outside there?
So you guys would be, because Alvira opened the lock, you're kind of standing near that door. If you look, you can see the door is kind of open about 5 feet in front of them.
Okay, so that door. So we're crossing the bridge thing. We're not the thing that's
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to.
Yep. I totally
Okay,
get
so
it.
we're up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The door is actually raised a bit, so that bridge kind of is like a ramp leading up to it. That leads to this kind of small stone porch outside of it. But yeah, Alvira was opening up there. And I am finishing doing this. There we go.
Orange, yeah, orange. That way it's yellow.
I wasn't certain if we were both yellow because we're both clerics.
Right. I was gonna.
Okay.
That's
I
what I
thought
was
that was
going
part of
with.
your disguise.
That's literally what I was going with, and I was like, wait, just let me change it.
Okay. Initiatives. Anyone above 20?
None of us are above 10.
No.
Okay. 15 to 20?
No.
Okay. 10 to 15?
No.
Okay. 5 to 10?
Yeah.
What do we got?
I got
there
a
were 2
7.
7s, right? Alvira and Shield had 7s. What did you get, Sonny?
2. I think Ivy and I are just chatting. We weren't.
Oh, I was gonna say,
expecting
what
to
was
at
yours,
all.
Ivy?
Mine was 3.
Okay.
I think that's exactly right. We're just chatting about color combinations.
Yeah. So and that makes sense because this is all very sudden. Like it's Alvira picks the door, it swings open, and you see this scene. So you guys might not fully have like seen through the door past everybody in there.
Yeah. Well, it probably occurred to Ivy that she's not sure if she turned the lantern off in her hotel room or not.
Right.
That's a fire hazard.
Definitely.
Like,
I'm
Ivy
like,
and I
"No,
are not
it's
used
hard."
to being- Ivy and Sonny are not used to being quiet for that long, and the zombies don't talk, so we were having to be quiet, and we were having to be quiet. We just had so much to say.
Right.
Okay. So they do go first, but essentially these first 4 are holding an action. They're not actively moving out. And you see the white in the background you see him like speak and then point, and you see them all kind of draw their like rusty swords and their weapons as they get ready as they see you through the door. But it seems like the white has commanded them not to funnel into the door. But that is all 3 of their turns. They are top of initiative, which is nice because now it's Elvira's turn, or Shield. You guys can figure out who goes first, who goes second.
What's your dex, Elvira?
My initiative bonus is +5.
You can have it if you'd like. Then mine's +2.
Yeah, I like things. I like doing things that cause chaos, and it is an absolute blast of all of my existencing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cause chaos things to happen in this place. Because why do anything but be pure chaos incarnate? So, first thing I want Mr. White, aka the Heisenberg here, to make me a saving throw, DC 17 Wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Okay. Oof. What a start we've got tonight. They nat 1'd.
Oh, lovely.
So what are you doing to this white?
This giant phantasmal image of Elvira shoots forth in this. Oh, it's everybody in a 30-foot cone ahead of me. I lied to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. 1 goal passes, 1 goal fails.
Wait, does that include me?
No, I'm gonna be in front of you. Sorry, Shield.
Let me double check here. Yep, that is 2 ghouls failed and both skeletons. So both skeletons, the white, and 2 of the ghouls failed.
Perfect. So this massive phantasmal image of Elvira burst forth, and instead of wings from her back, there's like these dark tendrils of energy, and everything that failed, they drop whatever they're holding, and they become frightened of me. So they must take the dash action and move away by the safest available route on each of their turns, unless there's nowhere to move. So if there's a way for them to escape, they're going to do so. But if not, they're going to fuck off from scarediness. And
Scarediness.
so that's going to be my action. And my bonus action is going to be to command the Teds to do what the Teds do. And they're going to move in and do some attacking as well.
Okay. So yeah, 4 of them can probably fit in. The other one can probably swap out with the other one.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then they're kind of taking up that space. Yeah.
So these zombies, because they're special to me, they're going to get my spell casting modifier added to their attack and damages.
Okay.
So do you want me to just group roll, or do you want me to roll them all individual?
You can do separate attacks for them. I usually just group initiative.
4. So 4 of them.
And so 2 of them are attacking a skeleton, and the other ones are attacking 2 ghouls?
Yeah, the 2 ghouls that didn't get scared are going to get fucked on first.
Okay. So here's what we'll do for that. I assume there's a way to do this here.
Yeah, so they're going to slam into them because that's their attacking. 23, 28, 22, and 24.
They all hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
4 bludgeoning damage each.
Okay. So they slam into them. And all of them land solid hits. We will say the back 2 ghouls are the ones that are frightened that failed the saving throw.
Sure.
So your zombies are very easily able to get in. They slam in. It's not inherently enough to, kill any of them, but you do see them land solid hits on them. I just want to double check this really quickly. Yeah, nothing there. And here it's just Oh, I apologize. They do seem significantly effective against the skeletons who dropped like rusty swords, and you saw the 2 ghouls in back also drop like rusty maces, and the white dropped a bloody sword. The ghouls just kind of take the damage. I do believe zombie slam attack is bludgeoning, though. Is that correct?
Yes, it is bludgeoning.
Yeah,
Bludgeoning.
so you see like bones within these skeletons start to break and fall to the ground. They're still up and standing, but they took significant damage from those blows.
And I'll just use my movement to duck out of the door, and aside from that, I'll be done. I'll be in the room, but ducked out of the way so people can come in behind me.
Okay, so the Teds also walked back out after attacking?
No, I just left them up there. Well, there's not room for everybody, huh?
Yeah. This first floor, it's about 20 feet by 20 feet, and with that many like guards sitting there, there's really not a ton of room in there.
Yeah, so I guess the Teds are gonna have to move too, so people can get in. So they'll do that.
Okay, so Owlbear kind of
play the shuffle game as people come past.
Yeah, definitely. And then I believe after you it shields. So yeah, all the Owlbear and all the Teds rush in, and you see several of the enemies just drop whatever they're holding. And while they are undead and can't truly show fear, they seem to all be looking around for a way to escape. As the Teds rush in and just batter them and then rush back out. Shield, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so Shield will take advantage of their narrow corridor, and he'll step right up into here. And the 2 that were unfeared, which I presume is this one and this one, he's going
that is correct.
Enter into a rage.
Okay.
And reckless at both of them.
Okay.
So first attack is either a 22 or a just gonna crit fish for the hell of it. Yep. Almost 19. So that'll be. Let's see.
So that definitely hits, and I believe you're using your glaive wounding, and I believe that's a 10-foot reach.
Yeah. So 10, 13. Let's see. 10. Wait, what does it add? Because it's got +2. Is that the +2 for my weapon or my strength? I don't think it added my weapon. Okay, so hang on, 13. 15, and then once per turn, I also get my Divine Fury. So 19 damage on the first hit.
Okay. So the first one with that hit and that Divine Fury, at first it seems like it's going to stay up as you kind of swing your glaive and it bites deep into the flesh. It seems like it's getting ready to rear up, and then your Divine Fury activates, and there's this, flash of light, and that ghoul just drops to the ground.
Sweet. Second fellow will not get the divine damage. However, if I can hit him, he'll at least also be wounded. That's either a 17 or gonna crit fish. No, so 17.
17 does hit.
Okay. So
Undead do not be good at dodging stuff.
Indeed. So let's see. 5 plus another. 10 slashing, and then the D4 from my wound. 1 from the wait, is that explicitly necrotic? Oh no, that's necrotic. I guess he gets 1 back.
Necrotic is fine against most undead.
Oh, is it?
Well, there's only very specific ones that absorb necrotic. A lot of them with normal damage.
Okay, well, 10 slashing and 1 necrotic. If any of them are intelligent enough to try to medicine each other, it's DC 15 medicine or a DC 15 con.
Okay.
And he does that at the end of his turn.
It's a zombie. I really don't think that's a concern.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe your glaive of wounding kind of presents that anyways.
So if I stayed in this doorway, would they be able to see around me, or is it such a tight doorway that I'd need to scoot?
They can see around you, and your party could certainly slide past you if they needed to. If they wanted to move through you, it would probably just be difficult terrain in those tight confines, but you could certainly stay there, and they could likely see, whether it's beneath your arm hanging out or whatever, you're holding your glaive and fighting. So I assume it's not like your arms are at your side or anything.
Then I'm going to block the door for now.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, that second one is up. But but it looks severely damaged. It's kind of like hanging on. You see any movement it makes is very limping, and these ghouls do not move necessarily fast, but they don't shamble the same way zombies do. But this one seems to be, as it seems like one of its legs is broken, and it's got this deep gash across this chest. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn? I believe that's rage, and you said you're staying there?
Yeah, I'll stay put there. That'll be EOD for me.
Cool.
EOT.
Ivy, you and Sunny are in the back here talking, crossing the bridge, and all of a sudden you hear the sounds of combat going on. You see the Teds rush up and see Shield walk in, waving his glaive, slicing at things. You can see some figures beyond him in the doorway.
But he's still blocking the doorway, right?
He is. You could certainly move past him, and you can see past him somewhat. I would say he's probably giving like half cover to everything beyond it.
Okay.
You move through that doorway, it would be difficult terrain for that 5 feet as you're like squeezing past him through the door.
To just imagine myself being like, "Excuse me." I'm just gonna like, let me just get through here. Okay. I'm trying to find something that is not like all my spells are like ranged. My damage spells are all ranged.
Something with a reflex with a saving throw on it, because then you don't have to roll attack roll and the cover doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Like, do you have anything that's like a reflex save or a
Yeah,
save
that's
instead of an
true.
attack roll?
Most of those
And
you
don't care
only
about
need to
cover.
see it, and then it's a saving throw. It's not.
Where would I find those? That's just
When it's like it has like a column that says hit /DC. If it says like Dex 18, it's
okay. Like, I have lightning lure. That's like a strength 15.
Yep, and then it pulls them, I believe.
Yeah, but then that pulls them like towards me. Well, towards Shield actually. If I do that, does Shield get an opportunity attack?
A fantastic question.
You don't get op attack if they're unwillingly moved into your square.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe for op attack they have to actually spend movement. So if you're pulling them into his range and he is sentinel, that would not trigger it because they are not moving; they're being pulled or being moved rather.
That's good to know. Okay. Can I just cast? I guess I'll just cast Ray of Frost. Like by Shield, like so. I'll like go a little bit past Shield. Cast it. Do you want me to cast it at disadvantage?
No. So I said it has half cover. So that just gives it like a +2 to its AC.
Okay. So.
And which one are you attacking? You're attacking the ghoul in front, one of the skeletons.
From
this angle, I was gonna say from this angle, you probably really only have line of sight on the ghoul.
Yeah. So I got a 23.
Okay, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. You're like 4d10 or something at this point.
2d8.
Oh, okay.
2d8, yeah. So that is 11. No,
okay.
8. My bad. 8.
Okay, that doesn't matter. This has taken some damage from a Ted and from Shield already. So as your ray blasts into it, it kind of falls to the ground and freezes over as your ray of frost shoots underneath Shield's arm, slamming into its other leg that isn't broken, and it kind of just slumps to the ground before the frost just freezes it solid.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna go like this behind Shield again. I feel like this is a really small room, and I don't want to be in this super tiny room with all these people. So just
definitely. And Sunny.
Oh, the temptation to be dumb.
You are a light cleric. You do get the funny spell.
I get lots of fun spells for this. So this is 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. At which point I do a word of radiance. And and everything within 5 feet should make a con save.
Okay, so that's 2 ghouls and 2 skeletons. We'll start with the 2 skeletons who have already taken a little bit of damage. And what's the DC?
It is DC 18.
Okay.
and anyone who fails takes 14 radiant damage.
They all fail. These 2 ghouls have not been touched. The remaining 2, so they are still up. You said it was 14.
Yep.
Okay. 14. The skeletons, at this radiance, their bones just kind of disintegrate and melt in the radiant light as you say this word, and this bright blast shoots out from you. Elvira, were you inside the building?
No, I stepped back out.
Okay. I was not positive.
Yeah, I just moved out.
So yeah. So they do all hit. Let me get these out of here. As some more room is freed up as the bones disintegrate. And you guys are carving through these earlier ones, these earlier enemies here. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think I take my last 5 feet of movement to step into the corner.
Okay, like away from them?
Yep.
Okay, so they are going to take their opportunity attacks at you, but they have disadvantage because they are frightened of Elvira, who is just inside sight.
Yep.
Does a 16 hit you?
It does not.
Okay. And an 11 will not either. So they kind of swipe at you after blindly after your light hit them and you back up, but they just whiff on air as you safely back into the corner.
I cleared some out for you, Shield.
And is that your turn?
That is it. That is my move and an action, and I don't have a useful bonus.
Okay. So thanks to Elvira, the remaining ones. And what spell was that? Just for my reference?
It's just fear.
Oh, just fear? Okay.
Yeah, it's fear.
I'm just double checking
If
here.
it ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight, it can make the wisdom saving throw again. But if it's still in line of sight of me, it's still scaredy boy.
Okay, that's what I was checking. I know some of those spells work off like being hit or taking damage. So they are all going to dash. The white is quicker than them, and actually, because it cannot move closer to you, actually just dives over the table in the corner.
Dang.
And then dashes out of sight. Those of you who have been inside have seen a staircase over on the side. Let me double check these guys' movements here. 30. Okay, yeah. So they also have the movement speed to dash fully out of sight. So they all are going to repeat the saving throw as they are well up those stairs. I believe in theory with your glaive, you would get an opportunity attack on one of the ghoul's shield if you would like.
I will certainly like.
Because you have a 10-foot reach, so they definitely have to move into and out of your reach to get out.
That'll be a 18.
Definitely hits.
And that'll be 17 damage.
Okay, so one of those ghouls actually does not make it to the stairs and is just cut down as it's running. Shield's glaive just kind of slices through its spine as it's running and has its back turned, slicing it in 2 halves that fall to the ground. The others, like I said, do dash out of sight, and they are going to repeat. So the ghoul is still frightened, and the white is still frightened. So that is their turn, and we're back to Elvira.
Okay, so I am going to move to the stairs where I watched them go. And they are trying so hard. And I'm going to tell them that, the one that's closest to me, I'm going to say, you're trying so hard. It doesn't have to be this difficult. All you have to do is say yes. And I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Ghoul fails.
Okay, so he will take, oh bother, 2 psychic damages from my vicious mockery.
Okay. And you do have to go kind of up, but you'd be able to come back down because it is a spiral staircase that goes up on this side turret here. So you do kind of have to run up to actually see it, but you do, and then run back down. And as you go, you kind of hear a boat. Like, I don't know how an undead ghoul reacts to psychic damage. Probably just like a. I don't really know. You know, most things would be like, get out of my head or start screaming or something, but like it's a ghoul, so it probably just screams.
Yeah, I'm not going to move yet. That's my action. For my bonus action, I'm going to stay in range of them. And that silver fire is going to flicker in my eyes. And I'm just going to say, I told you, you should have said yes. And I need a dexterity saving throw as I sing the tale of the dragon, and silver fire spews from my mouth in a 30-foot cone.
Okay.
And it's a DC 17 dexterity saving throw.
Ghoul fails. I do think I think the white is probably outside of that 30 feet at this point with his dash, but
either way, whatever's going to get it is going to get it. And that's all. That's all definitely. I got to say about it. Get wrecked, scrub. And I'll give you damage 1 second when I tell you what.
Go for it.
Bardic dice is D6. Okay. So it's going to be 4d6 damage. Oh, nice. 21.
Okay. So yeah, that ghoul just, you see these, you shoot this silvery flame up, and you don't necessarily see a ton as it kind of bends around the curve and catches the ghoul, and then after a moment you see ash start drifting downwards.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go all the way down the stairs because I'm fairly small. I am small size, so
it is up too. It's upstairs. Yep.
Yep. Shield will be able to move past me. I'm small, so he can pass through my space very easily. I
could literally just step over her. It's like somebody left a stool in the middle of the hallway.
Yep. So that's it for me. The Teds are just gonna kind of hang out in the room, waiting for us to clear the hall.
Okay. Teds move back into the room and just kind of hang out there. What I will say as we come to Shield's turn here is you start to hear moans and shuffling behind you. Alvira as you move to the stairs, Shield as you start moving in, and anyone outside who turns around and looks around sees that there's been some noise made now, and the zombies outside have started to take notice.
You know what time it is.
As they are moving to you, none of them are in range yet, but you do see anyone with like a perception above like a 13 would figure from what you saw marching around somewhere around between 20 to 40 zombies starting to converge toward the tower.
Damn, that's crazy. At least 2 people with perceptions that high also have. They just seem to have something fun. I just can't get my brain off of. I don't know what it is though. So Shield right now is big Angie, righteous indignation flowing through my chest down into my stomach, reaching all the way to my quads. But going no further than that because I need it to be concentrated. And I'm going to bull rush on after the white, and he's gonna eat the Schnicker Schnow. So that'll be 2 reckless, 1 potato.
I do believe you can just catch up because as a barbarian, I believe you have 40 base movement, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So he had dashed, so he is about 40 feet above Elvira there. So you would have to spend an action to dash to catch up to him. Okay. Unless there's some other way you can dash and move roughly 80 feet to catch up to him.
Unfortunately.
Or 60.
I am not the battle rager. So I guess I can't. What is the closest enemy then?
There isn't. There were 4 ghouls and 2 skeletons, and you watched your party just decimate them. You saw 2 ghouls start running. You cut one of the last 2 ghouls down. The white jumped over the table and sprinted up the stairs. The ghoul followed. Now Elvira was doing stuff. It seems like, at least from this level, only the white, and then behind you, probably 20 feet away, are a group of 4 zombies on either side of the tower starting to move towards you.
Fair. Okay. Well, in my rage, I'm still going to pursue the enemy I am the most aware of, being that white. So I'll, however that distance works out realistically, I'll put my token here for now and say that I've dashed after the white.
Okay. Yep, that'll work. Definitely. And the white has not been touched other than fear.
Gotcha. That will also make my rage fall off for now. Oh my god, 3 more uses.
Well, I think. Oh no, because this is the turn you dashed and you did not take damage. You are correct.
Yeah, I have.
What's up, Sonny?
I try to bite him when he flees.
Is this your opportunity attack?
I was gonna say I'll allow you to spend your reaction to opportunity attack shield as he tries to run past. He did promise you a bite. 2 bites,
Go
actually.
for it, man. You got, that beats it, yeah.
Okay. I'll allow
7.
it.
7 halved down to what
3.
is that? 3.
Yep. So you feel a pierce in one of your legs as you run past. As Sonny just bites one of your legs as you run through the doorway, and that only fuels your rage further as you sprint past Elvira, almost knocking her over as you barrel into the stairs and start running up this spiral staircase. And you do catch up to the back of this white, who is kind of looking over its shoulder with the closest thing to a look of terror as a white can possibly have.
And with that, that'll be my EOT.
Is that over here? I do. I need to stop closing this. Frightened, it can. Nope, it has to dash, right? Okay. So, it is going to dash. Shield, if you ended your turn, so your reaction reset. So you do get an opportunity attack as the white begins sprinting away.
I think Shield just stepped off, but
That's fair.
He probably would take that. So
just for my reference, does Shield have Sentinel?
No, I do not believe so.
Okay. Oh, I can check.
Yeah, he does not have Sentinel.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure if it hit, it wasn't going to stop it running or anything.
If you don't mind, I'll bot him and I'll roll it. If you
go ahead, because we can pause mid chase here after this, because I don't think it's likely that he's going to
23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay, and then his damage I'm probably going to get wrong.
It's a glaive.
It's D10 plus 2, and then I think his rage bonus. So
it's +2 plus it's a +1 glaive.
Yeah, so
I think it's a D10 plus 2 plus
strength modifier
plus 3 because he's raging. So it's a D10 plus 5, and then on his first hit each turn, he can add his radiant damage, which I think is a D6 plus 5. So I think it's a D10 plus a D6 plus 10.
I can look at the sheet and see if I can double check here.
I don't think he can do that part on the reaction, that add the thing. So I'll just do the standard. It'll be 13 damage from the glaive of wounding.
Okay.
I guess it's on each of your turns, and this is someone else's turn.
Yeah. So we'll finish out this round. We'll let Sunny and Ivy do their turns because that's end of initiative, and then we'll end because he does land this deep blow, and you from below Elvira hear this cry, this ear-splitting shriek as the white continues and dashes 60 feet up. And what I will say is and I can definitely, update him when it gets here. The point he and it were at was about the entrance to the second floor. It ran past that up to the third floor and then dove out of the stairwell.
Okay, so we're gonna end up roughly here.
Yeah, that's about where Shield is exactly. And you were a little lower, but if you take a turn to move up your next turn, you'd catch up with a dash.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back. You opportunity attacked the white as it ran away. And then it ran up to the floor above you. You're at the entrance to the second floor. It ran up to the floor above you and dove out of sight, out of the room, or into whatever is on that third floor. And we were just going to round out the initiative order here with Ivy's turn.
So, Ivy, seeing that the zombies are now coming to the door from outside, is going to go to the front door and just cast a firebolt cantrip at the nearest.
Okay. So yeah, I think it takes your 30 movement to get just inside. You turn around, go ahead and roll your firebolt against one of these zombies.
Oh, I was about to be mad. That's a 25.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Damage is 11.
11. Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, it lands firmly in the chest of one of them, and you see like the black robes they're wearing start to burn away, exposing the decayed and now burned flesh underneath. It's still standing and still coming with its pack, but it definitely took some damage there.
Nice. Then I will be like, okay, bye, see you later, and close the door.
Okay.
And lock said door.
Okay. So yeah, you close it, and there's like a latch that you flip that Elvira had picked before and lock the door. Sunny, the door has been locked. Ivy is standing next to you. You've seen the rest of your party sprint up the stairs after these fleeing undead.
Well, are you okay if I head up, or should I wait for you, Ivy?
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead. I'll catch up.
Sunny will start. We'll double move up the stair, double move and head up the stairs after everything.
Okay. What's your movement, just for my reference?
35.
35? Okay.
Yeah.
So you would probably get to right behind Elvira, right up here. Yep. On your turn. Or you would get in front of Elvira. So Sunny kind of ducks under Elvira's wings running past. And I think we're getting kind of late, so I think we'll pick this up later as you all are on the second floor of Lifka's tower.
Yeah, perfect.
Zombies are coming to siege from the outside. You're chasing some undead up. And I've got initiative order written down here, so we won't have to re-roll or anything. We can just pick up where we left off.
We never want to re-roll those initiatives. They were.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming, and I think Hoolie's going to take us out.
I am. So we're going to run a raid over to Guild Superior, and I'm going to play the fancy credits, and we'll catch everybody next week on Thursday.